Hello and welcome back to Nerddom. My name is Matt, and today we are going to be talking about all the announcements. Now, I am not the biggest Disney fan out there. I think their media corporation is actually kind of messed up, and there's a lot to say about, Bob Iger, his leadership. What has that done for the stockholder? What has that done for the normal customer, normal Disney customer? And from what I've seen, there's been a bunch of discussion about what has actually changed since he's been in power. Not too much. It's kind of easy to pawn off a bunch of the issues to the dude who came into power, Bob Chapek, while he was gone. But he wasn't really gone. The dude was still at Disney and he was still in his same exact office. So it's like, was it really his fault? It might be a discussion for another day, but we are here to talk about the new stuff that they announced. Now, again, I'm probably not going to go into too much Disney Pixar stuff. That's not really my deal. But congratulations for all those sequels that you're getting. Nice. And this stuff is definitely made for the Disney adult. A lot of these experiences seem to be made for the Disney adult, to be honest. And if you want the epitome of a Disney adult, to me, yeah, that's a real picture at D23. Thanks to Rocco for that picture. Of course, I have the stuff that I like too, and that is Marvel, Star Wars. And unfortunately that got bought by Disney a long time ago. But hey, they've given us some good stuff in the past, in my opinion. So I thought, hey, might as well go through a bunch of stuff, see what they announced, and see if any of it is actually interesting, and see if it gets us excited for anything. But before that, I want to thank every single one of you, the 884 of you who are subscribed. Thank you so much. We are so close to 1,000. It's crazy. If you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to smash the like button. Really does help out push our channel to new people, new friends, one would say. Okay, and with that, let's get into the announcements. Starting off, Disney themselves talked about some of their newest animation projects or whatever projects coming out. Of course, the first sequel to be announced from them was Moana 2. If you're a fan of Moana, Moana. There you go, we're rolling with that. Next project was The Rock came out and announced that he's making a Monster Jam movie. Monster Jam, Gravedigger, I guess. And then announced the new Avatar sequel is called Fire and Ash, and they also showed some, I guess pictures behind the scenes kind of thing. And that was it for Disney so far, and then it went into Pixar. Pixar talked about their new TV shows, first of which is called Win or Lose, and this is from their, I guess, called Dream Productions. It looks to be like a collab between Disney Animation Studios and Pixar on this project, but it takes place in the Inside Out universe. So that 1.5 billion from Inside Out 2 is really making a mark, huh? Next up, Toy Story 5. By God, they did it. Another Toy Story. Congratulations. Apparently this time, the toys are going against electronics, like iPads and tablets and phones. So that's gonna be interesting. Like, I'm curious to see what kind of commentary they're going to have about that, especially since the company is pushing out a bunch of mobile apps to get kids addicted to their app, right? Isn't there a bunch of like Disney apps? Oh, let me see. Yeah, there's a bunch of, pretty sure they're specifically geared towards kids. So, I mean, yeah, what kind of commentary are they gonna have on that kind of thing while not trying to shoot themselves in the foot? We'll see. Andrew Stanton is apparently writing and directing. So we'll see what comes of that. I still never saw number 4. And of course, I jest about a bunch of sequels, and then I am going to be cheering on a bunch of sequels from Marvel, from Star Wars, and that kind of thing. So this is all in jest. Chill, Disney adults. But just know it primarily does feel like the Disney experience is now being aimed towards you, so congratulations, you won. Next up, they finished off the Pixar portion of their presentation with Incredibles 3. So another sequel, let's go. And then another one. So this is actually Disney Animation came up and they talked about Zootopia 2. So if you're keeping track, we have Moana 2, Zootopia 2, Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5, And then we have another one coming right after that, and that is concept art for Frozen 3. So we have 5 sequels in the works. They definitely know that their bread is buttered from these IPs that definitely pull in money. You know, you saw the success of Inside Out 2, but again, the success of Inside Out 2, I think there was a good word of mouth as well about that movie. I still need to see it. I did like the first one, so I'm curious to see what the changes in storytelling is going to be for them moving forward, but I really haven't seen any. I didn't even see Frozen 2. I haven't seen any of these movies. I'm not really in the Disney stuff. They then announced that the Frozen is going to be a hit Broadway musical, or it's whatever. Or there's going to be stage adaptations on the way. There you go. So for Frozen, Hercules, and The Greatest Showman. So congrats to that. And finally, we get to the portion that I wanted to talk about. The next project from Star Wars to be released is going to be Skeleton Crew. They're really pushing the feeling of it being like the Goonies mixed with Star Wars, and that's totally the vibes that I'm getting from the trailer at very least. So it feels to me, honestly, it does look like it's actually shot well. The graphics look a lot better than in the screenshots for sure that we've seen. And I'm kind of curious, it seems like the child actors are doing a good job so far too. So yeah, I'm curious what's gonna happen with the story. Or are we going to have some twists and turns? Is it just gonna be like kids in peril kind of thing? It's definitely geared towards the kids. It's not really gonna be like a Stranger Things situation where it's adultifying the kids. It's like an adult show with kids. I think this is gonna be a kid's show. But at the same time, I am getting the vibes that it's gonna be viewable for adults as well. Again, a la Goonies or something like that. So we see a couple of friends who are on this like residential suburban suburb type area, and they dream of going on an adventure. And so they kind of recruit some friends and they find a secret hidden Jedi temple or something. It's produced by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, the masters of the Star Wars universe, I guess. But these two kids, they really do like dream of an adventure, and they recruit a couple other people, and it looks like they do find themselves an old Jedi temple, possibly. So it looks like the temple may actually be a ship, and they may accidentally shoot off into the galaxy. God knows, light speed is kind of, it's kind of not taken seriously anymore. You know, we had light speed skipping, we had a bunch of other stuff. It's not like you have to actually punch in a bunch of calculations to get to a certain place, to get to a certain place, to get to a certain place. It seems like you can just shoot off, unless, you know, in the story, maybe there's some light speed calculations that are in there already into the Navicomputer, and then it launches off and it takes these kids with them. And then of course we're on the far side of the galaxy and they need to make their way home. So it looks like at a certain point they do get kind of locked up, and then we have a Jedi. Another one. I guess Yoda was not lying when he said,
"No, there is another. Another one."
At a certain point, how many Force users, how many Jedis are we going to see? And to you, does that take away the specialness of Yoda, Obi-Wan, and others surviving Order 66? Let me know down in the comments below. So we have Jude Law as the Jedi. Now, of course, they could flip the script. This could not be a Jedi. Maybe it's an Inquisitor. Maybe it's an ex-Inquisitor, because I do think this story takes place in between Return of the Jedi and... Okay, so it does take place after Return of the Jedi and before the events of it. Oh, that makes sense. So it takes place after Return of the Jedi and alongside the Mandalorian show, and we may actually see some pirates from the Mandalorian show into this show. So that whole season 3 arc, was it season 3 or season 2? No, it was season 3. With the pirates, that may show up in this season, in this series. So we definitely are getting Goonies, Spielberg vibes from this show, and I'll be watching it. I'm curious to see what they do with it. So we'll see. We'll see, could be good. And then we had Diego Luna come out to the stage and talk to us a little bit about Andor Season 2. Man, supposedly it's coming out sometime next year, and they did show some behind the scenes footage that did leak. It does show off a lot of the major players of the Rogue One movie. It looks like we have Krennic, we have K2SO, returning for this season. So the story may involve Krennic talking to the organization from season 1 more closely, following them more closely because of the breakout from the prison. A lot of the pieces for the Death Star was being created by those prisoners. So it's quite possible that he may be more like of a oversight figure, or it could just be a 1-episode cameo. Maybe he's visiting their offices, that kind of thing. The K2SO story is actually pretty cool to me because he is going to have to learn to trust this android. He's going to learn to trust this droid. And over time, you can see K2SO actually say something like, "Hey, you trust me now?" That kind of thing. So we're going to see that friendship, quote unquote, grow between these two characters this season. Of course, we have all the returning characters from season 1. So we do have a couple more players. It does look like Andor possibly may be getting involved with Bix a little bit more this season as well, which makes sense. You know, he lost his mom. She lost her love interest, I guess. So there is a lot. Maybe he'll bring her more into the fold. At the end of season 1, he did leave with Luthen. So I'm curious to see if he's going to be coming back, or is he going to meet up with her someplace else. I think it would be kind of cool to see a Bonnie and Clyde type relationship within the Empire. It kind of does make him have something kind of to not live for per se. I mean, he does have the rebellion, but it's something a little bit more personal than just, you know, the movement, that kind of thing. And it may also create some more drama with Luthen, you know, having these loose ends versus Luthen. He tells, you know, what's his name in season 1 that he is not going to have any of this stuff. He is going to be basically alone, and the cause is the cause, and the only thing that he's taking, you know, seriously. So, you know, it's going to be a good juxtaposition to have Andor creating these personal ties versus like Luthen, who kind of dissuades any ties being made. So I'm all for that. Again, we have great Mon Mothma back, more drama, more political drama with her. I am all for that. I loved all the stuff from season 1, and maybe one day I'll actually make that Andor video that I sat down and wrote like 5 months ago. But awesome, super stoked for that, and it's gonna happen next year. So says Lucasfilm. And then they concluded with the Mandalorian and Grogu footage. So this one feels like a straight up product to me. It doesn't feel like an actual story to tell. And the reason for that is all the stuff that they've shown in this teaser, it's kind of like, we've listened to you and here what we have. Like, they have the Razor Crest back. They have, you know, oh my God, people are just showing the leaked footage. Are you kidding me? So the teaser does show a couple of snippets from Grogu and Din Djarin meeting in season 1. A couple of clips from season 2 with them on like the barge, and then them growing together, you know, eating food together, that kind of thing. And it does cut to the Razor Crest. It cuts to Zeb sitting in the cockpit of what looks to be the Razor Crest. It shows snowtroopers gearing up for a fight, and it shows Mandalorian walking through a hall. Pretty cool shot of a mouse droid camera view and Din Djarin taking out some stormtroopers. And then it cuts to him riding an AT-RT, I do believe they're called. AT-RT. Yep, called it. So it goes to Mando piloting an AT-RT with Grogu in his lap, basically in a passenger seat, being shot at by AT-ATs, or AT-ATs. And that's the teaser. So we have a couple of little snippets. It looks like they're on some type of snow planet. Maybe he is wanted by this remnant of the Empire. He does a bounty, and then, you know, they're after him, or they're on the planet, and then word gets out. So that's possibly what's going on in this footage. Just be making it up off the top of my head, to be honest. Anyways, that was the end of Lucasfilm. We had 3 projects, 2 of which I'm okay with, 1 of which I'm actually excited about. And then the Mandalorian Grogu one, it just seems like this whole project of Mandalorian Grogu really turned into a product, and that's where I'm having a problem with it. It felt like the story had already ended, so we're gonna see it in theaters May 2026. So are you excited for anything Lucasfilm showed? Let me know down in the comments below. And then let's get into the Marvel of it all, which I am actually way more excited. So they brought out Ryan Coogler, who is executive producer of the show Ironheart, which, if you know or if you heard anything about it, this was shot so long ago. It's been sitting in development heck for quite a long time, and it looks like we got our first details on what the story is happening. It looks like Riri is kicked out of MIT for probably using their resources. She's not able to bring her suit from Wakanda Forever to here, so she kind of has to make it up on her own, and then she falls in trouble with this group who seems to be doing, I was gonna say plots, it seems to be doing like heists, I guess, and she becomes one of the heist people just so she can get some funds, and then, you know, I guess sooner or later she's gonna turn her back on them and blah blah blah. So Ryan Coogler took the stage to talk about how he's involved. Following her debut in Wakanda Forever, Riri is keeping up at IT while worrying about a new superpowered villain played by Hamilton actor Anthony Ramos. So that's not the vibe that I got from the trailer at all. I don't know what this IGN is talking about. I got the vibe that she's like in league with them, and then he's gonna turn his back, or she's gonna, you know, they're revealed going to be messed up with her or something like that, and she's going to try to be a hero based off of that. So I guess it's gonna be a story of her losing everything, trying to get it back by illegal means, and then saying, ooh, that's not good. Again, that's just what I took from the trailer. The next one I am really excited about, and that is Daredevil Born Again. So I did see the footage as well. We had the entire A cast, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, John Bernthal showed up with, holy crap, what's her name? Deborah Ann Woll, of course, Eldon Henson, Foggy. We even got a little bit of Bullseye in his prison outfit. We also have Vanessa and Wilson Fisk back. So it really does look like they listened to people on this one, and in a different way than like Mandalorian Grogu feels very focus test. This, from all accounts, project changed dramatically because of fan input. And that's why, again, this kind of stuff, is important to make voices heard. You know, these are the characters that we care about, that we've had 3 seasons with, plus a couple of other snippets in the Netflix universe. These are the characters that we should be concentrating on. We do have a little bit of a tease with his multiple costumes that he has. So I'm not sure why he would have a white costume, but maybe he's fighting where painters are painting. I know it's in the comics, chill, but really, I don't get it. Looks cool. So it turns out the Muse is actually Daredevil Born Again's big bad. I'm sure Kingpin is going to be an overarching part of that. We got John Bernthal back as Punisher, as a rough and tough, gruff, bearded Punisher. So it looks like maybe he's been on the run for the last bit of while. I really need to watch like season 2 of Punisher. I don't think I ever watched it. Of course, we have Karen and Foggy that are back, Bullseye's behind bars, and the Marvels connection. So it does look like there's going to be a little bit of a connection with the Marvels or Miss Marvel. Since we're back in New York City, we could see Miss Marvel, and I'm again fine with that show. I don't have any problems with it. The trailer does feature Kamala's father. Where is he going to fit into this thing? Is Matt going to help them in court? That kind of thing. So it does look like we're going to get White Tiger in this, and this is going to mirror White Tiger's arc in the Daredevil comics, where Matt is going to be representing him in court. So it's possible that he's going to be the defense attorney for a costumed hero out in the streets, which could be kind of cool. I'm down for that. Let's see some actual court proceedings. And then we have a very dark showing of Matt in this, where he's talking to Kingpin, and Kingpin, he already knows who he is, since this is taking place in the same universe. Yay. But we are gonna see a little bit more of a lot of inner conflict again with Matt, and that again is what drives the story forward, his relationships with these characters that we love. So I feel like the course correction on this show so far, from what we've seen, is exciting, and it's something to be excited about. So, I mean, they could pull a fast one, and then you'll see it here first. I will not be happy. I'm a big fan of the show. I think it means a lot to me, and I'm really excited to see what they do. Hopefully it will have the same spirit as the original show. Hopefully it's TV, MA. Let's go. Let's get the horns up. Let's get the horns up. I don't know. So that's me talking about Daredevil. Yeah. And then we had Agatha All Along, which comes out this September. So we have next month. We're going to see Agatha All Along. This one I am not so curious about. I did not like her character in WandaVision. I think it actually took away from the main story that was happening, and it kind of cut the legs off from the drama of the character. It really did. It said, oh no, it's been her all along, which it kind of just made a joke of it all, and I don't dig it. So I'm not attached to this character, and Aubrey Plaza is going to be Aubrey Plaza from what the looks of this trailer. Are you... Yeah, it's not really for me. We did also get a actual face-up shot of Red Hulk, of Thunderbolt Ross as Red Hulk, behind the presidential podium. I do think this is the footage that I heard about, but I wasn't sure if it was shown at Comic-Con. It's a brand new trailer from Marvel for this movie, and I'll tell you, it's definitely trying to get those Winter Soldier espionage vibes. Not sure if it's going to hit. This I know needs to be a hit financially for the studio. This is a very expensive movie, and they have a couple of months to polish what they have. We'll see it in February of next year. I'm skeptical, but I am curious to see how they sort out the ending and what team of the Avengers we're going to have after this, because whatever Avengers we have at the end does need to go against the newly announced Doom and others. We also got our first tidbit on Fantastic Four, and we see the Fantastic Four suit that Johnny Storm is going to be wearing with his blonde wig. It really doesn't show much. I think they showed the same video that they showed at Comic-Con for this audience. You've seen a couple of things leak from that. Again, how is it going to take place? I did see a leak behind the scenes set drone picture that says Westview. So Westview was the town that Wanda took over inside of WandaVision for that whole season. And it looks like it's going to be the town that Agatha All Along is going to be taking place in too. I could be wrong. So this town is very particular, and this Fantastic Four set shows that it's going to be, I guess I should say, spoilers, it's going to be possibly taking place in the same town. Now this is probably just a little place that they go to. Maybe they go to Westview in the past in a different universe, but Fantastic Four is definitely in New York City. So I'm curious to see how Westview is going to play into Fantastic Four. That's really all we know. We just saw the costume, which has like the lines of the Human Torch, and we saw the video again. So not much there. And then I would be remiss if I didn't announce or didn't talk about Tron Ares. I did see the teaser that was shown. It looks like, spoilers, looks like the Tron universe is coming into the real world, and Jared Leto is leading the charge. There is also a little shot of Jeff Bridges with a new insignia on his chest in the Tron universe. How is Flynn going to help with this? And it looks like a brand new main protagonist as well. It's not his son from Tron Legacy in this. Will he have a cameo? I hope so, because I really do wish that it should be, you know, sequential. It should work with that. But we got Jared Leto being the baddie. We have a bunch of red decked out Tron people attacking the real world, as well as, recognizers. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, recogs. I think we have a recog in the real world. Big announcement from them was that 9 Inch Nails is going to be doing the soundtrack. And of course, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross have been doing a lot of projects in the last 20 years. So pretty cool to see them in here, and they just straight up called themselves 9 Inch Nails. We could get another banger of an album, another banger of a soundtrack from Tron here. And it's definitely going for more of a darker tone, gritty, that kind of thing, versus the Daft Punk was more cinematic, mixing with club per se. I'm excited for that. I don't know how I feel about Jared Leto. I watched Morbius. I don't know how I feel about him doing this. It could be good. His track record with Joker and others doesn't have me too excited. I did kind of like him in Blade Runner, but it did seem like he's kind of like the same character some of the time there. So that's it for me. There was like some Mufasa stuff announced too, but that's really my bread and butter is the Star Wars, Marvel, and Tron. Am I excited? I am more so curious. I'm excited for Daredevil. I'm hesitantly excited for Daredevil. I don't want to get hurt again. Yeah, I'm keeping it at arm's length for now, but it does have a bunch of things that we love, and it's from all standings. Marvel seems to be course correcting with a couple of projects that are now being worked on, but there have been projects in the past that have been too far, too much of an investment to not put out. So we'll see how those older projects go, and it looks like newer Marvel that they can control, maybe course correcting. Of course, there are other reports saying that producers who were seen as not caring about what the story is, caring more about other stuff, were let go in the past couple of months. So again, all unsubstantiated, but could they be course correcting? Could they have seen what happened and are changes we made there? Really hoping so. Let me know your thoughts on all the announcements here. What are you excited about? What are you not excited about? Does all this look like crap? Please let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, we'll see what happens. It's another year. It definitely does look like as a corporation, they are moving more towards safe and sound. They do need some cash coming in. Inside Out gave them a good amount of cash, 1.5 billion so far, but you know, they need more. This is a huge corporate machine. On the earnings call, Bob Iger did praise FX's shows. So, and then WB is hurting as well. Maybe I'll make another video in the future about how WB was quoted as being not as worthful as they were. And yeah, their value has gone down a lot. So corporate media corporations are gonna have a lot of issues in the next coming years, and quite possibly all of us. So let's ride it out. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to smash the like button. It really does help the channel. And yeah, that's it. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.